Good morning. You're watching and listening to a CNA TV and CNA938 live simulcast on Singapore's Budget 2025. I'm Andrea Heng.
And I'm Harianto Diman. Now, Prime Minister Lawrence Wong delivered Budget 2025 yesterday. It's a slew of measures to help keep Singapore competitive amid global uncertainty.
That's right, from corporate rebates to new research initiatives and even more injection into upskilling and reskilling workers. Singapore's Budget 2025 is a major significant effort to tide Singapore through the global unpredictability and that landscape that it brings us. And joining us now live, we have,
of course, here in the CNA938 studio, Ms. Indranee Rajah. She is Minister in the Prime Minister's office. She's also Second Minister for Finance and National Development. A very good morning to you, Ms. Indranee. Good to have you here with us. Now, we want to start off with SMEs. So companies, especially SMEs, they are facing elevated costs and slowing demand growth as trade tensions escalate. Now, the budget offers breathing space by alleviating near-term cost pressures. How far do you hope these targeted measures will help our businesses in their long-term strategic capabilities?
Well, the plan for the businesses, right? There are a few aspects to it. So I'll come back to the bigger picture, but you asked a very specific question, and that's for businesses. So the strategy for businesses, especially the smaller ones, is put more cash back in their hands. And that's why Prime Minister announced yesterday the 50% corporate income tax rebate, because basically it will help companies and especially SMEs with cash flow. And I mean, we did take into account that there will be some who are making losses. So for every active company with at least one local employee, there's a minimum benefit of $2,000 with the total benefits capped at $40,000. But the bottom line is it puts more cash back into your hands. So please use that. And of course, tap on all the various government schemes that there are to help you with productivity, to help you to have innovative solutions, and all the slew of measures that also help with the manpower costs.
Now, let's talk about the new $1 billion private credit growth fund. That was a pretty interesting one there. And it's meant to provide more financing options for high growth local enterprises. There are already, though, government funds that invest in prominent companies alongside commercial partners. So give us a sense of how this new fund would work in tandem.
I'll do that, but just before I do that, I want to talk about the bigger picture and how this particular initiative sits in the bigger picture. So the bigger picture is that we really need to grow our economy. We want a dynamic economy. We want to anchor businesses here, and that's with the sole objective of increasing business, increasing employment, and increasing opportunities for Singaporeans. We want Singaporeans to have better jobs, better income, better opportunities. If you listen closely to what he said yesterday, there's a three-pronged strategy for this. The first is leverage technology and innovation, right? So for productivity, create new opportunities, etc. Second is building up and strengthening our enterprise ecosystem. And the third is investing in infrastructure. So this private credit growth fund that you spoke about sits within that second prong of the strategy, which is strengthening our enterprise ecosystem. And what we've seen globally is that there is an emergence of private credit market. So there's private credit that's looking for something to do to grow and to earn income on that. And they offer innovative financing solutions because by its nature, they can be nimble, they can be flexible and do various things. We also notice that there are not many of them in Asia, and even less for Singapore-based enterprises. So what we really want to do is attract them here. And that's the thinking behind introducing the new $1 billion private credit growth fund. Details are going to be announced by Minister for Trade and Industry and Committee of Supply, so I won't forerun those details. But this was just to explain the thinking behind it is really to anchor those kinds of funds here, which will hopefully generate financing solutions for Singapore businesses.
Ms. Indranee, on that note, there is also a new Global Founders Program, and that is to encourage global founders to anchor and grow more new ventures here in Singapore. Now, at the same time, there's also a big push to grow our local enterprises. help us understand here, how can we ensure that these two groups will have equal opportunity for growth?
In what sense? When you say both will have...
Yeah, so both in terms of pushing for the business and ensuring that they have that space to grow together.
So both the international global founders as well as the local enterprises growing as well. So I suppose it's a two-pronged growth trajectory.
Oh, okay.
In that sense.
They're complementary.
Okay.
They're complementary because you want global founders to come here, to set up here, and they grow more new ventures. As they do that, that's going to create more business for our local enterprises. And if our local enterprises also tap on the various schemes, they become more flexible, they get bigger, they do different things. Basically, you can see that there's opportunity for partnerships and for complementary things. So bottom line is when there's growth, it benefits everybody. And there are different stakeholders in growth. Some are bigger ones, some are venture capital, some private credit, whatever it is. But you need all of them to stimulate the business and to have more opportunities.
So hopefully there's a space for synergy. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Synergy between the two sides.
Right.
That's right.
Ms. Indranee, the Singapore Exchange was also mentioned in the budget. We know Mr. Chee Hong Tat chairs a working group to look at how to make the SGX attractive again. Prime Minister Wong announced tax incentives for local companies and fund managers who list on the SGX. Just a note here, 20% corporate income tax rebate for primary listings and a 10% rebate for secondary listings. But given the high benchmark that it takes to list on the SGX, are these incentives enough of a kickstart to, say, reboot the system?
Well, it's certainly a good start. And if we need to do more or to refine it, we will. But it's very important that you need to set off on the first leg of that journey. And that's what this really is.
So we cannot talk about business without addressing the elephant in the room, which is AI, right? Artificial intelligence. Now, Mr. Wong introduced a new enterprise compute initiative. This is where eligible businesses can partner major cloud service providers and access AI tools and computing power. There is already an existing AI investment that was announced last year. Talk to us about the synergy between or among all of these AI boosting efforts here in Singapore.
Okay, so going forward, you do know that AI is going to be transformative in businesses as well as in work and for individuals. And many people ask, am I going to lose my job to AI? And the answer is you won't lose your job to AI. But you will lose your job to the person who knows how to use AI, right? So that's the first thing at the back of our minds. We want to make sure that Singaporean individuals and Singaporean companies do not lose out in this global AI race. And that means that Singapore must be a place where AI can flourish, where you have different types of AI solutions, and where you have all the infrastructure and the service providers anchored here. So that's what this is really aimed at doing. It's really to have, eligible enterprises who will be partnered with major cloud service providers to be able to access the AI tools. Basically, you're creating an ecosystem, an AI ecosystem with all the different stakeholders so that we get Singaporeans and Singaporean businesses ready for an AI-enabled world.
Just wanted to add to that, Ms. Indranee. I'm wondering also at the back of my mind if there is talk about how Singapore could eventually become this AI leader, not just as a hub where all of these vendors come and gather here and build their businesses here and we distribute those resources, but also becoming the AI supplier. We have the next DeepSeek. We have the next ChatGPT. I mean, is there talk in the government about pushing Singapore towards that?
When you look at Singapore's size and resources compared to other countries, we're much smaller. So I hesitate to say that, we will be the one right out there in front with AI. Yeah. But what we want to do is we want to partner with other countries who are already seeking to be at the forefront of AI. And to the extent that we can anchor them here, have AI solutions out of Singapore, servicing not just Singapore but the region. That is what we want. And of course, if really we come up with something where there's something new that's developed here, that would be wonderful if that comes out of this. But one step at a time.
So quite briefly, we want to go through this with you as well, Ms. Indranee. Upskilling for workers, they continue to be a focus even for this budget as well. A SkillsFuture initiative that provides a fixed allowance, so we're talking about $300 a month, to mid-career workers aged 40 and up, taking up selected part-time courses. To what extent, help us understand, would this workfare skills support scheme incentivize workers to enroll in these courses?
That's really important, and I'm not sure how people really have hoisted in the power of SkillsFuture. So let me just illustrate with a case that I had for my Meet the People session on Monday night. There was a guy who came to see me. He was the caretaker for his mum. He had not been working for many years because he was looking after her, and he's not quite 40 yet, going to be. Has his highest qualification is NITEC.
Right.
And he was like, I'm going to have to go back to work at some stage. I'm hoping to get caregiving or nursing facilities for my mum, but I don't know where to start.
Right.
And then I was like, you know what? We have SkillsFuture for you.
Okay.
And there's a whole range of schemes. And it really depends where you want to take up, because he left off at NITEC. So he could consider going back, doing higher NITEC. I don't know what his results were. Another possibility might be for him to do a diploma, or he can do specific courses. But the bottom line was that I was sitting down there thinking, there's this whole range of things. It's like a whole menu for him to choose from. And it's great that we have that. Because if we didn't have that, it would mean that somebody at age 38 who has been out of work, what does he do? He has no chance to pivot to new business opportunities. So that's the thinking behind SkillsFuture, and that's why it's such an incredibly powerful thing. So I really want to encourage Singaporeans to leverage it, so that it's a journey of personal growth and also access to new opportunities.
Yeah, here's a poster boy for SkillsFuture.
Yeah, I'm always excited whenever there's an announcement about SkillsFuture because I have used up my credits to take up Spanish and to learn all other skills as well. Yeah.
Really? Oh, okay. Next time we should talk about you in budget.
That's right.
Yes,
Exactly. Profile right there for you. Just a final, cap off for conversation here. There was also a heavy focus on supporting our seniors as they age, especially in the workforce, right? And that's pretty encouraging. Lots of encouragement for companies as well to do this. But given the rapidly changing labor landscape, what with AI and all entering the fray, how should seniors strategize how to upskill or reskill for a new world of work?
Okay, I want to really encourage seniors here, because the first thing is, don't label yourself a senior.
The age is just a number.
Age just number. But the important thing to remember is that as individuals and as human beings, actually every new day is a new opportunity to learn. And, learning keeps the brain active. It keeps you mentally and socially engaged, right? So I think that it starts with mindset. So long as Singaporeans, even as they age, tell themselves every day, I want to learn something new, whether it is for work or whether it's just like going to learn painting or learning a new craft, it must be part of our DNA. And once it becomes part of the DNA, then every day becomes a new and exciting journey, because you're thinking of learning something new. And some of that can be translated into a job or earning income, or some of it is just social. And most of all, it's about your personal growth.
Yeah, I'm wondering here, I'm going to throw this one to you. What would you like to learn then? What would you use your SkillsFuture's credit for, Ms. Indranee?
Okay, my limiting factor is time, right?
Exactly.
But assuming,
to get to that.
assuming that I had plenty of time, two things, I think. culinary, because I would like to know how to do certain things properly.
Right.
My cakes never sort of seem to be able to take off. They're always like so dense and
Andrea
heavy.
is good with cakes, so
Really?
she can share
I'm
some
not too
tips.
shabby.
Yeah.
Not too shabby.
Okay, yeah. So baking,
culinary, yeah.
yeah, baking is a gap there that I
Okay.
need to bridge. And then the other is maybe graphic design. I mean, I like sketching.
Okay.
But I've never formally trained or done any, proper training for drawing and so on.
Right.
And it would be nice to explore different mediums, whether it's charcoals or watercolors.
Yeah, you have an iPad there. Have you tried the iPad version of?
Yeah.
I don't know what
I
it's
think
called.
there's paints and all that. Yeah.
No.
Colouring as
What
well.
I do on my iPad is answer emails from my staff saying, please, can you approve this or can you respond to this? So yeah, that's what I'm doing on iPad at the moment.
All right, Ms. Indranee, we'll have to wrap this up. It's been a pleasure to have you back in the CNA938 studio today. Thank you for making time to speak
Thanks very
with us.
much for having me, and I hope that everyone is happy with Budget 2025.
The SG60 Ang Pao, indeed.
SG60 about it. Well, that was Singapore's second Minister for Finance, Ms. Indranee Rajah, right there joining us for a special conversation on the Budget 2025 here. And this has been a special CNA TV and CNA938 simulcast. I'm Harianto Diman.
And I'm Andrea Heng. Thank you for watching.